Today's April 26th, and now we're doing the sunset. And if you know, we had a really good camera. This would be a beautiful, beautiful picture. But unfortunately, this is the best I can get right now. So bear with me. This is April 26th, and stumbling blocks are your stairway. That's the name of this. Great, great quote. Based on the Bhagavatam. Nothing can, we are all faced with obstacles. Use these stumbling blocks to build a stairway to your goals. The Bhagavatam says a devotee uses his, he uses his obstacles as a stairway back to Krishna. Isn't that a nice analogy? That every problem is actually a step in the stairway to bring us closer to Krishna consciousness. So, if we see obstacles as stumbling blocks, that's negative. If we see obstacles as a stairway to get us closer to Krishna, that's positive. And when you see them in a positive way, then obviously the way you relate to them will be different than if you see them in a negative way, because if you see them in a negative way, you get discouraged. If you see them in a positive way, you become encouraged. Now, I don't know if I've told you this story before. Some of you may have heard it, but there was a time, due to circumstances, I was facing some trouble. This was early on in Krishna consciousness. And that trouble could have discouraged me, but I decided that I would react by being enthusiastic. In other words, I'd run into a problem, and I thought, well, this problem is either going to destroy me or it's going to cause me to become more enthusiastic, because in order to conquer the problem, I'm going to need to be enthusiastic, and if I'm not, I'll be pretty much run over by Maya. So, as paradoxical as that may sound, the problem actually became the source of my inspiration. And I think that's great. I think that every problem, every difficulty should be a source of inspiration. Just to remind us that because we're conditioned souls, being Krishna conscious does require a lot of enthusiasm. Sometimes I give the example that if you're riding a bike and in the distance you see a hill, then normally what you do is what? You pedal faster so that you can go up the hill. Okay, we're going to make this lighter and just see if that helps. I don't know if it helped or not, but you can see me better, right? So you pedal faster to build momentum to go up the hill. Well, the wrong attitude would be, you see the hill and you get depressed. Oh, there's a hill, this is so discouraging. Nobody told me there was going to be a hill. I just thought we were going to be riding our bicycles peacefully on level ground, and this is like, I feel so depressed by this hill. But life is like that because there's so many hills that we didn't know were going to be there, right? And so when we see a hill, we should think, okay, let's pedal harder, there's a hill. And if I pedal harder, faster, I'll become more in shape. And if I try harder, I can make it up the hill, and every time I make it up the hill, I become stronger. Right? And if every time I see the hill, I give up, I'll never be strong enough to go up the hill. So, I'll never build the stairway back to Vaikuntha, because every time I see the obstacle, I'll think, there's nothing I can do. That's the problem. So, this is from Bhagavatam, as I said, a nice verse. Devotee sees obstacles as his stairway back to Krishna. Every obstacle is an opportunity. Every obstacle makes us stronger. Every obstacle is something we need. And if we give in to the obstacles, we miss the opportunities that the obstacles afford us.